Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Afternoon Auto Group Braves Plus pregame show. I'm your host, Chad Klein. Tonight, Bradley looks to extend its 6-game winning streak as they face the Evansville Purple Aces in Carver Arena at 7 o'clock. But before today's contest, I continue my conversation with Bradley athletic trainer Tyler Krogh and strength coach Eddie Pappas. Today, we'll be talking about how players have changed, or have they, keeping athletes on the floor, and the difference between return to play and return to performance. All next on the Afternoon Auto Group Braves Plus pregame show on 1470 and 100.3 WMBD. This is the Afternoon Auto Group Braves Plus pregame show on 1470 and 100.3 WMBD. I'm talking to Tyler Krogh and Eddie Pappas, and we're talking about student athletes. Is there a difference from 5 years ago, 10 years ago to today in student athletes?
There is, Chad.
100%.
Can you talk about that? So let's talk a couple things. We talked about concussion protocols.
Yes.
There has been a lot of studies done on concussions.
Yes.
And so we're more sensitive to those things.
Yes, more sensitive. There's more rigorous protocols, strict protocols, actually.
Yes.
The NCAA mandates exactly what you have to do to clear protocol. Mm-hmm. Whereas 10, 15 years ago, maybe...
I had probably 2 or 3 and didn't know it.
Yeah. Well, we can tell, too.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much. But so on the same topic and trying to stay, politically correct, because I think we all have a biased opinion about this. Players of today versus players of yesterday. And some of this has been created by COVID, where things change dramatically. How do you – are student athletes the same?
Okay, this is where I go with it, is when I started this tenure at Bradley 10 years ago, I had Darryl Brown, I had Nate Cannell, and I had Koch Barr.
Sure.
And I looked at those 3 guys as a nucleus of what Coach Wardle wanted to create. Mm-hmm. And over the course of that time, Darryl Brown, Koch Barr, and Nate Cannell's bodies and athleticism changed over 4 years, and so did their confidence. In the last couple years, it's a new team every year.
That's fair.
And so what used to be that I could say we're going to develop you over 4 years.
We're going to build into it.
We have to build now. I have to raise the tower now. We have to get it going as soon as possible, as safe and as responsible as possible, but it's got to be a now thing. And the thing about it is, those 3 kids I named, they never thought of it as a now thing back then.
Right.
The ones walking in now do. They absolutely know that if it doesn't work out this year, for whatever reason, grades, coaches, relationships, playing time, girlfriend, whatever. I got another option. I'm out. So I got to build stuff faster with them. Relationship-wise, I have to get them ready faster. We have to. The way we train, everything's got to move at a quicker pace without risking anything. And I think they know it too. So that's why I say that I think they're different. Is they understand the landscape that adults have created, system has created. They're super smart.
Very smart, very intelligent.
They know how to work. They know how to work the system to their advantage.
Okay.
But in turn, on another side is in saying that I got to build relationships faster. I'm dealing with an era that was shut down for a year, and I don't believe knows how to build those relationships faster.
Well, and you say it was shut down for a year, but that's when we're talking about COVID,
yeah,
that stuff lingered for 2 to 3 years.
Correct.
And to some extent, still to this day.
And so I don't know how you move fast with that group when they were alienated a little bit. Yeah. So I think there is something different about them. I really do. You just see it. You feel it. You see it every year. You hope it's turning a corner. And then on the other end, you talk about the yesteryears. No one walked in at 22 and 23 yesteryears.
Right.
And now I got to Alex, and an AJ that walk in, and they're adults.
Sure.
They just walk in, they're adults. All of a sudden, we got adults in the room.
And as I recall, didn't we play? Was it Green Bay where we played? And guy was 29 years old.
Oh,
I was like, huh?
I just read a thing where Gonzaga's youngest player was 22 on the floor. Unbelievable. And they redid their whole roster too. So, yeah, it is a different era. I think there's definitely every 5 to 10 years, I think the kids are changing.
Uh-huh.
But this one's really, right now, we're in a very unique stage.
Tyler, comment?
I think from the medical standpoint, injuries are injuries, right? You treat them the same. I will say.
So compare, because you have a history in football.
Let me interrupt. I believe, too, they're more sensitive to illness.
They are.
Than they've ever been.
Very more sensitive.
Well, that's cultural now, societal.
Yes,
we've done that.
Yes, and
we're not as
sniffles aren't sniffles.
Sniffles aren't sniffles. Dayquil's not Dayquil.
Yeah.
Hey, used to be a day where you just popped a couple Dayquil, sinus decongestant. What about a day? Not necessarily nowadays.
So we'll talk more about this when we come back on the Uftreen Auto Group Braves Plus pregame show on 1470 and 100.3 WMBD. This is the Uftreen Auto Group Braves Plus pregame show on 1470 and 100.3. I'm talking to Tyler Krogh and Eddie Pappas. We've been talking about competitiveness between the two of them. We've been talking about, what have we been talking about?
Just availability over
yes,
anything else.
That you guys basically keep players on the floor.
That's our job.
That's our goal.
One of the things Coach Wardle talks about, you've told this story, I think it's okay to talk about this. He had been coaching players that were bow-legged.
Yep.
And every single one had an ACL issue.
He did.
And we had an athlete that also, and so he wanted you to create a program.
No, he basically yelled at me and told me that I've had nothing but problems with guys with those legs. He needs to stay healthy. And I was like, I don't really get it, but let me look into it.
Sure.
And when I looked into it, I did not realize at that time frame of my career and everything, this is amazing. This has got some real truth to it here at this time. And so I went into it and I started.
And before you go there was a school elsewhere recently within the last few years that was having a rash of ACL injuries.
Oh, I think you could go just about anywhere right now. ACLs are still popping.
We track them all the time. They're all over the country.
So to speak to our competitiveness, daily we chart, in a way, we note it, we have it saved daily, all the college basketball injuries we find between the both of us on social media when they're reported.
Elsewhere.
Yeah.
Daily.
So he'll text me at 9 o'clock at night. My wife will get mad. What the heck's Eddie want at 9 o'clock? And I'm sure Christy does the same thing.
Well, usually half the time it's probably we're going out. And
it's either we're going out, but then the other half's like, hey, did you see so-and-so from University X is out tonight with X? Oh, let me put that in my notes. Because we have that, but they're playing tomorrow. So that's our competitive spirit.
Yeah, because when you come at us about we only have so many things we can show you. And
there's a lot of uncontrollables, but the things that you can control.
It is, but it's our pride, and coaches get to base their pride off wins and losses.
Sure.
This is whether or not it's any coach. I'm not sitting here talking men's basketball. I'm talking any coach.
Correct.
Gets and quarterbacks. Let's use those as they get wins and losses to tie them to success. Well, I could tell you vertical, but if a kid comes in, I'll give you. We had a young man about 7-8 years ago came into Bradley basketball. He had a 47-inch vertical.
Oh my goodness!
Well, what am I going to make it? 50? I mean, and the percent of me adding 3 inches is next to nothing. So that's not. People like to get wrapped up into that.
Yeah.
And then, do you bench press? Do you not bench press? Do you squat? Do you not squat? I mean, I want them on the court.
Right.
And on the field, this isn't just a men's basketball thing. This is a baseball. UCLs are popping.
All sports.
We want our athletes to be on the field. And I go back to when I said I have kids this age. I don't want to see them hurt. I don't want to see other kids hurt. I know injuries are part of it, but am I doing everything, and is my staff doing everything to make it a realistic chance that this kid could be on the field for a bulk of their time?
So it changes from bigger, faster, stronger to durability as well.
Durability.
If they're durable, if you look anymore, if they're out there, they have a better shot than if I make them bigger, faster, stronger, because realistically...
Shoot, I'll use an example here in a minute. Go ahead, I'm sorry. A couple of years ago, we had a guy, very durable, won't use his name. He set a Missouri Valley record for steals, rebounds. He currently is an NBA champion, still in the G League.
Yeah.
I was told that individual, I'll tell you right now, that individual's alignment, so you should have your hip kind of aligned with your knee, kind of aligned with your toe, if that makes sense, if you visualize it.
Sure.
That man's knee went in from his hip,
which went out,
and his toe went out the other way.
Yep.
So his toe was outside his hip alignment, his knee was inside his hip alignment, and that guy stayed durable. And some things...
I'm not sure he missed a practice.
I don't know if he... I mean, and the thing about it was... And I'll give you another to just... we have people now that we pride ourselves on. There are people who, at all sports, when they leave us, we're not happy that they get hurt, but we note it because when they leave us...
They were healthy.
Right.
And they stayed healthy, and they had success with Bradley, and then they left, and something happened.
Right.
And typically when you leave Bradley, you don't leave it if you're good.
Sure.
You don't go down. So they go to these palaces and these greater places that everybody talks about.
With all the resources.
And with all the everything that we get told we have to go talk to, and lo and behold, they're out. And so we pride ourselves heavily in the fact that we've had a run of success. Maybe at any moment it could be gone. But I tell you right now, we work really hard at making sure our athletes are on. And I won't even go just injury. I'll also go illness.
Absolutely. This is the Afternoon Auto Group Braves Plus pregame show on 1470 and 100.3 WMBD. This is the Afternoon Auto Group Braves Plus pregame show on 1470 and 100.3 WMBD. I'm talking to Eddie Pappas, strength coach, and Tyler Krogh, athletic trainer. I've heard you say in some of our previous conversations talking about return to play, and then we were talking the other day in practice about return to performance. Can you, either one of you, speak to this? Tyler, I think you're the one who brought it up.
Yeah. So when you talk about return to play from an injury versus return to performance, return to play means you're medically cleared.
Yeah.
Like you've returned. Your
metrics are all fine.
Metrics are fine. Our metrics we take from the force plates, jumping,
doctor
evaluations, tests. You're fine.
MRIs, anything.
Yeah.
The whole gamut.
Your whole gamut. You're cleared. Let's go play your sport. Now, and it's funny you bring this up because I was in a conference out in Las Vegas this summer, and they put on by the NBA and the G League, and they use the words return to play, return to sport. So the big one is ACLs, right? That's just a big injury. Everyone knows about it.
Sure.
So they talk about it, and early research... Probably from, and Eddie's going to make fun of me because I have
to get scientific here.
I know I am, and I have my computer up. I put my slide up. Eddie's shaking his head. I know, but I just want to say because ACLs are big. Like everyone knows what an ACL tear is, right? And it used to be from research from about 2009 to 11, they were finding anywhere from 10 to 12 months you were returning to play. New research actually showing it's taking 12 to 14.
Really?
Yeah.
Now, that's return to play.
That's return to play.
Adrian Peterson screwed it for everybody.
Adrian Peterson came back in like, what, six months?
That was ridiculous.
And ever since then, everybody thinks that should be
the norm.
We should get closer to Adrian Peterson. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So why? And you guys are making fun of me because I have my computer. And why do I bring this up? Because the NBA does research on this, and they noted that although guys are back in the games in 12 to 14 months, okay, that's their return to play. Their performance is decreased in that first year. Mm-hmm. They actually play fewer games than their average games from years past before injury.
Really?
Their minutes are down, and actually they've put a number to it. If they're in a salary contract year, they earn less money. So return to play is you're medically cleared to get back out on the court. There is no issues with you.
Yeah.
But then there is a difference between return to play and return to the performance. So although Adrian Peterson returned to play at 6 months, was he the Adrian Peterson NFL MVP,
right.
league rushing title guy at 6 months post ACL?
Well, I'll use one because, disclaimer, I'm a Tom Brady fan.
Of course you are.
Michigan.
Yeah.
Tom Brady came back off of his ACL the next year and was marginal.
Yes.
And he even stated, it took me a full year once I got cleared, because what doesn't go into account is the mental approach to believing. Mm-hmm. And what you're seeing right now, we have 2 female athletes at Bradley that are showing all this data to be exactly true. Mm-hmm. One plays volleyball, one plays basketball, and their performances were outstanding at about that 18-month, 24-month level. But we were aimed at trying to get them back in 12.
Sure.
But it just wasn't there. And now you're seeing just a little more patience and a little understanding of where the data and the research says they're doing outstanding work. And so I think that data is spot on.
So in your scientific data and discussing it and talking about it at your conference.
Big scientific guy, by the way.
Did you have your white coat on at the same time?
I absolutely did. Buttoned up to the top.
Do they talk about, is it truly the physical aspect of it, or is it more the mental approach of it?
Both. You got the mental approach, the confidence, like Eddie.
Because you said they've tested the same before and after.
Correct. Mental, but then also there's a difference between going through a rehab stint and a game stint.
I got you. Okay.
I mean, you played basketball before.
Absolutely.
Like, there's difference between going through drills and practice and then getting against game, fans, lights, all that kind of stuff. So you got to get acclimated to that as well.
Okay. Student athletes today, are they the same as they were 5 years ago, 10 years ago?
No.
We have these conversations a lot. And this is my opinion on, maybe I'm going to walk you into this. This is the F3 Auto Group Braves Plus pregame show on 1470 and 100.3 WMBD. It's the F3 Auto Group Braves Plus pregame show on 1470 and 100.3 WMBD, and this is By the Numbers. Last time out, Bradley played Southern Illinois in Carver Arena. Bradley came in looking to extend its win streak to 6, while on the other side of the coin, Southern Illinois, who came in 6-5, had lost 4 of their last 6 games. The key for Bradley to rebound and create turnovers against the Salukis while continuing to grow offensively. Now, while Bradley largely dominated the game, leading for over 32 minutes, it is not what I would have called a dominating performance. It felt like right from the start that Bradley was just out of sync on both ends. Southern Illinois, ironically, would jump out to an early lead, 11-10, taking advantage of a shaky start by Bradley, who had 3 turnovers in the first 4 minutes of the game. And Southern, you kind of knew, because they don't shoot the ball well, they had to make this a muddy game. They tried to play Bradley extremely physical, and that worked for a period of time and forced Bradley to shoot poorly, but it also got Southern into foul trouble and sent Bradley to the free throw line. The thing that I guess bothered me the most for Bradley is they hang their hat on defense, and they struggled defensively in the first half specifically allowing Southern Illinois to shoot 52% from the field. And at the same time, offensively, Bradley could only muster 38%. Coach Wardle talks about it all the time. Don't let your offense be affected by how you play defensively. And it did happen that way, that Bradley's struggles offensively affected their defense. On the bright side, Bradley did knock down 5 of 9 from 3 in the first half, 56%. And I mentioned how Southern tried to play physical and got into foul trouble. Bradley was 12 of 14 from the charity stripe, 86% in the first half. On top of that, one of the concerns coming in was rebounding, as always, and that was solid for Bradley. And Bradley would go into halftime with a 39-34 lead, but it was anything but comfortable. In the second half, it was more of the same. Bradley would build a lead of 7, 8, 9 points, but then shoot themselves in the foot with bad shots or turnovers. Personally, I thought if Bradley could just get to double digits on the lead, Southern Illinois would break. But this is Valley basketball, and Southern Illinois did what they needed to do. They remained in contact and actually had a chance to tie the game late. But fortunate for Bradley, Southern Illinois turned the ball over on their last possession. Bradley would throw in a couple free throws at the end, and Bradley would come away with a win, 73-69. Bradley only had 2 players in double figures. Jaquan Johnson with 20 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 steals, continues to play inspired ball. And Alex Hubricks, who struggled with the long ball, found other ways to contribute, adding 13 points, 6 rebounds, and 5 assists. But that was it. There was no one else in double figures. Now, that being said, there were multiple players for Bradley that had 7, 8, 9 points. So in some ways, that's not a bad thing to have that balanced scoring. But there's going to be nights like this where you don't have your best game and you have to find a way to win. And the key for this night was Bradley found a way to win. Now, Bradley looks to extend its win streak to 7 against the 4-9 Evansville Purple Aces in Carver Arena. Evansville is led by 6'10 center number 22 Connor Turnbull, who averages 14.5 points a game, 6.5 rebounds, and 3 blocks in the middle. They are also led by 6'10 stretch 4 player number 11 Joshua Hughes, who averages a little over 9 points and 5 rebounds. He is that pick and pop game, or he plays that pick and pop game. So any of you who remember how I played as a player, it's exactly what Joshua Hughes does now for Evansville. Look for Bradley to force Evansville to beat them from the outside and not allow Evansville to get out in transition to get easy buckets. When a team is struggling to score, you don't want to allow easy opportunities. And most importantly, do not take Evansville for granted. Play good defense, create turnovers. Bradley needs to push the ball in transition when the opportunities present themselves. And in the half court, move the ball. That has been the best success for Bradley. Now, we've seen glimpses of this, but as Coach Wardle says, we need to see it for 30 to 35 minutes, especially before we go on a difficult road trip at Belmont and at Murray State, which is Bradley's 2 next opponents. Up next, Dave Snell has Braves Insight before today's tip-off against the Evansville Purple Aces in Carver Arena at 7:05. This is the Uftring Auto Group Braves Plus pregame show on 1470 and 100.3 WMBD.